So a big one that doesn't get enough attention is sleep. And you and I talked off camera about the impact of poor quality sleep. And we all tend to minimize it. Like, I only get 3 or 4 or 5 hours of sleep. It's okay, not a big deal. But it drives everything.
Right.
So, and there's quantity of sleep and quality. I would argue that the quality is much more important. So what do I mean by this? And Matt Walker's a great resource on this, by the way. He's incredible. Yeah.
His book's on the shelf here.
Yeah, he's fantastic. I met him at an event in Dubai last month.
Yeah, he's awesome.
He's great. So
what we're talking about real quickly, Matt Walker, he's from
PhD
England. He's awesome. I think he's probably one of the most renowned experts on sleep in the world. His book's on the shelf, maybe back here, but it's Why We Sleep or something. Excellent. I would highly recommend that.
Yeah. So we talk about quantity, and most people need at least 7, if not 8 hours of sleep quantity-wise. But more important than that is actually quality as well. And we can look at the stages of sleep. So, you go from awake to REM sleep, which is where you're arousable to sound, you're dreaming, and that has very specific recovery, repair aspects of that stage of sleep, REM sleep. And then you go into non-REM sleep, and non-REM sleep has light sleep and deep sleep. And I think of it like just going just below the surface of the water, going a little bit deeper, and then going really deep under the water. And that deep sleep is where you get the real benefits of sleep.
Right, okay.
And then you come back up to REM, and you go back down again, and you do that about 4 times a night, 4 dives, if you will, per night. And the first 2 dives, which is the first half of the night, is where you get all your deep sleep. And the second half of the night is where you tend to get all your REM sleep. So in general, quality, deep in the first half, REM in the second half. What happens is a lot of people don't get one or the other. And when you don't get deep sleep and or you don't get REM sleep, you're missing the key aspects of sleep as it relates to repair, as it relates to recovery, as it relates to improving hormone production, and when it comes to, the glymphatic system, which is how the brain cleanses itself and restores itself, and that system happens typically when you're sleeping. And so if you don't get this good quality sleep, none of those things happen.
Right.
And so I have so many clients who, different topic but related here, we will do blood sugar monitoring. Track their blood sugar levels, whole separate topic, but the reason I'm bringing it up here is they'll wake up and their blood sugar when they wake up is high. They haven't eaten in 12 hours, so why the heck would their blood sugar be so high? The answer is one word: cortisol.
My nemesis.
Your nemesis.
Yeah, right.
And why the heck would cortisol be so high?
In the middle of the night when you're sleeping.
And the trigger is poor sleep. Poor sleep drives our nervous system and raises cortisol. So one of the most common causes of people who have high cortisol and they're looking for brain tumors and this and that is actually stress from poor sleep.
And then your cortisol is high, and then you don't sleep right, and
it becomes a vicious cycle.
It really does,
and now it also affects the gut lining, so the microbiome is disrupted by this excess cortisol. Breaks down the gut wall. You now have what's called leaky gut can result from that, and now you have an inflammatory immune response, and it becomes this ugly, vicious cycle of inflammation, high cortisol, low hormones, and everything kind of starts to circle. And all because of the poor quality sleep.
So are you using a CGM, continuous glucose monitor, on patients to monitor that?
We do that a lot for tracking blood sugar. We track sleep quality. We'll track body composition. And this is where the tracking, I think, is so valuable. But, going back to what are we doing that's making us sick, a big part of it is just simply not prioritizing sleep and recognizing how important it is.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So I'm sure you're familiar with Dr. Andrew Huberman, and I was watching a little video clip of his about nootropics, which are help cognitive function, for anybody who may not know that. But he said, what is the best nootropic for your physical well-being? Sleep. What's the best nootropic for your gut well-being? Sleep. And it was bop, 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 bop. It was sleep for everything. Really, it was really such an easy thing, and it's so simple to do. But especially you and I as physicians and surgeons, we were raised in a culture of, I'll sleep when I'm dead, and he who works the most wins, and it's just a big fat lie, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
It really is, and well, that's good stuff. Okay, so what, if you had to pick, I know it may be hard to do, just one lifestyle hack, I think I know what the answer will be. Just one that would make the biggest impact. So what would you say?
I'm going to stay right here with sleep for a moment.
Yeah,
I'm going to say
right?
The answer is to actually have an incredibly consistent sleep time. So what that means is your body has a circadian rhythm, and it needs to have consistency, and has to know, your body has to know basically when it's time to go to sleep. And so one of the most powerful things you can do is to set a time that is your absolute bedtime every single night. That's it. And that, set an alarm on your phone if you have to, do what you have to do, but know that that's the time.
That's it.
And people will, well, I'm going to make it midnight. And if you know you have to wake up at 5:30, your bedtime can't be midnight. So what I like to do, simple tool here, is just simply count 8 hours prior to when you have to wake up. So if you have to wake up at 6, you got to be asleep by 10, which means you got to be in bed by 9:30.
Right.
Because it takes time to kind of get settled and stuff.
Exactly.
And I like to give people 2 things to not do, 5 things to do in the 2 hours leading up to that bedtime. Okay.
Gotcha.
So 2 hours, not two things. Excuse me. The 2 things to do not in the 2 hours before bed.
Gotcha.
No tablets.
Right.
That means no
screen
blue
time.
light, no tablet, no
right.
phone, no laptop. And even if you're watching TV, there's a little bit of blue light. So blue light blocking glasses can be helpful for the TV.
Right.
But no electronic devices during those 2 hours.
Right.
And the second thing is no food or water.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Take a sip if you need for pills, but otherwise you don't want to eat or drink anything if at all possible.
Yep.
Okay, so avoid those 2 things.
Gotcha.
The 5 things to do in those couple hours before bedtime.
I'm mentally taking notes.
Yeah, 5 and 2. 5 things to do: read, paper book. Best time to read.
Book, right?
Yeah, paper book, not a Kindle. Something that's preferably not business. Whatever your business is. Something that's
Get you thinking.
Yeah, something else. Even
a romance novel.
If you choose. Journal, great time to. I'm a massive believer in the power of gratitude, and so documenting what you're grateful for, what you've accomplished that day, what you want to accomplish tomorrow, some goal setting. Journaling is a great time for that. Meditation, mindfulness, breathing exercise is incredibly powerful to calm the body and mind. Sauna. People always talk about, when should I be doing sauna? At bedtime is a perfect time because it relaxes the body.
Okay.
And then finally, sex.
Yeah.
Okay, intimacy with your partner, great way to calm the body and the mind for sex. And so 5 great things you can do in those 2 hours. Do not do them all at the same time. Super awkward. I joke.
Honey, hold on a second. I'm just taking notes.
But those are the things you can do, and simply a schedule. You just have to create consistency, establish that in your life, that you set your bedtime 2 hours prior. That's what you do in those 5.